Hello everyone. I welcome you again on this fascinating journey of research. Today our topic is hypothesis. This is one of the very important, or rather most important concept in research. So let's begin it. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. Let's say it's not, let's look into this statement. It's a specific statement. It's not general statement. It's a specific statement of prediction. So maybe you become astrologer, right? You start predicting something as a researcher, right? So let's try to let's pause a video for a while and let's say, what is hypothesis? Hypothesis, if you could see, it is made up of word. I mean, there is hypo, and have you seen this word earlier somewhere? Hypo and hyper, right? Thesis has to do with statement. So some statement, hypo and hyper. Hyper is something which is having like high blood pressure, so intense. Hypo means less intense. Do you see? Less intense statement. So what is less intense statement has to do? Well, that's the beauty. You are predicting, but you do not know whether it, just because you have carried out some research, you have carried out a study, you tend to believe that things are happening, or maybe variable A is related with variable B, or maybe something will lead to two variables are causally related. So you just make a light statement, right? It is not a strong statement. That is why it is hypothesis. It's not hyperthesis. So hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction, and it also describes reality in concrete terms rather in abstract and not in your theoretical terms. So something which what you expect to happen in your study, right? So stress is on concrete, right? So, and very importantly, not all studies have hypothesis. Many a time researchers come to me and they keep asking me, sir, there is no hypothesis in my research. Well, you have to first identify what kind of study you are pursuing. If it is an exploratory study is actually walking in the dark, walking in the unknown. So when you are moving forward without knowing what is coming in, going to come, what might appear, can you presume something? Well, don't presume ghost. So exploratory is you once you start exploring, then you actually become, so you tomorrow or maybe a day after exploration, you arrive at trying to structure something. Okay, earlier I was knowing nothing, but now I know something. So the purpose of exploratory research is to explore some area more thoroughly, to develop some hypothesis. See the beauty. So on the other side of the tunnel, the end of exploratory research is proposing certain hypothesis that could be tested in future research. So anyways, this hypothesis connection would always be there in your research. So if it is exploratory research, yes, you do not have to test hypothesis, but rather hypothesis will come in the end, towards the end of your research project, when you will try to develop, like, yeah, I have done some kind of exploration and I think that, let's say, A, B, C are related. A is related to B, B is related to C. So maybe in future research we could actually test these hypotheses. And alternatively, a single study may have one or more hypotheses. Okay, let's look at the null and alternative hypothesis. Hypothesis comes in two colors, rather thought is same. When you think about a relationship in research, you simultaneously think about two statements, and those statements are nothing but your null and an alternative hypothesis. Remember the word alternative, it is not alternate, right? Alternative hypothesis. So what is the logic behind two simultaneous hypotheses? Let's say that you want to predict that there would be a relation between two variables. The way forward is to formulate two hypotheses simultaneously, one describing your prediction and the other describing all possible outcomes with respect to the hypothesized relationship. Well, that sounds little too wordy, but try to understand, it's very, very simple. It's very simple. I am just saying that instead of just beginning with or saying, coming up with one simple statement, I am coming with two statements simultaneously. One saying that, let's say A is related with B, and the other alternative would be what? A is not related with B. As simple, right? So you call anyone, you want to say this is my hypothesis, null hypothesis, then this is your alternative hypothesis. So this is what we are trying to build this argument this way. So usually the hypothesis which you are interested in, which any other researcher is interested in, is basically your prediction, is your alternative hypothesis. But that's not the case always. You remember it, right? Usually it is the prediction that A leads to B, A is related with B. That is what we are interested in. So that is alternative hypothesis, and the hypothesis that describe the remaining possible outcome is termed as the null hypothesis. So maybe let's speak more language of research, because we are actually in the module of language of research. The variable A is related to variable B, alternative hypothesis, or there is no significant relationship between variable A and variable B. So there is no significant relationship between A and variable B. So that is my null hypothesis. So actually, if you follow, it is the hypothesis actually follow the principles of say mutual exclusivity and exhaustiveness, both the things which we have already discussed. Mutual exclusive. You cannot have both the hypothesis true or at any given point of time. If you selecting a one means rejecting the other. So mutual exclusive and exhaustive. So you have your things to addressed at one variable, and then you move to the next one. So the exhaustiveness is also there. So your one hypothesis speak about one thing, and the other talks about the rest or the remaining things. So this is so very quickly reflecting on hypothesis and not hypothesis. It's a delicate statement. Remember this word delicate. It's not very strong statement. It's a delicate statement. The researcher community says, okay, even if you are making some kind of prediction, let's take it. Let's hypothesize this way. This statement is weak. It has to pass through the litmus test of test. Only then we will be in a position to accept or reject it. The next one is null or the alternative hypothesis. We have also seen the principles of exhaustiveness and mutual exclusivity responsible for having two simultaneous hypotheses, and the last but not the least, hypothesis must be tested, accepting one while rejecting the other. So this is all for in today's lecture. Thank you very much. Stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. We'll love to hear from you. Please post your comments and suggestions to improve these videos. Thank you very much.